What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Tech Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing day. This is my boy West.
What's up? What's up?
You guys might know him because he's been uploading videos this week. It was a 4-day week when it came down to trading because today the market is closed in observance to the Easter weekend. So Good Friday, right? It's a Good Friday.
This is a great Friday.
Yeah. But in this video, I wanted to talk about, teaching Weston how to trade in 1 week. Obviously, is he profitable? Can he do it by himself moving forward? Definitely not. It takes much more than a week. It takes much more than a month. And usually it takes, there's no question that when it comes down to learning how to trade and become self-sufficient, right? To be able to do this all by yourself, it's going to take time just due to the learning curve. But I wanted to ask you a couple of questions for those that are just getting started. Maybe they can relate to a lot of the things that you either struggled with, and maybe some things that I honestly, I want to point out a series of things that I think that you did very well, and based off of what I saw and how you performed, what I would encourage you to do moving forward for next week. I don't know if you'd be willing to, maybe we can try this, just shadowing next week as well. We have Sergio.
I'm fine with it.
We have Sergio, who's going to be flying in on Sunday. That's going to be visiting us. He's one of the Learn Plan Profit giveaway winners, right? So he's going to be spending 3 full days with us, right? So it's going to be 3 of us now that we're going to do.
2 mentors.
In your opinion,
right?
Is it easy to trade?
No, not day 1, day 2, day 3, or day 4.
What were you think some areas of opportunity that you somewhat struggled with?
I would say second guessing, just being able to identify something and not quite be for sure yet since I'm so new. So second guessing in general.
Second guessing yourself. So one of the things that I think that you did very well that a lot of newer traders struggle with, and even for myself, like one thing that I really struggled with when I was just getting started was managing risk, right? I bag-held a decent number of, especially lower cap stocks.
Yeah.
We didn't even trade penny stocks, right?
No.
As that's not a focus that we have anymore. But that was just something that I really struggled with, and something that I found to be very impressive with you is that it kind of went hand in hand. You were so uncomfortable when it didn't go your way that you would cut losses right away. So I was very impressed in the way that you were so willing to manage your risk. But the thing that I think that you can do a little bit better is not be so to not panic, right? When it comes down to not going in your favor. And that's one thing that I think I do pretty well, that I'm pretty cool, calm, and collected when it comes down to if something is not performing the way that I expect it, I either wait for a break of pattern or some form of indication to then cut losses. Yeah. You were kind of it's not going my way, shoot, cut losses, and then it would just reverse right back up.
Oh, exactly. That's that was my issue 90% of the time.
So moving forward for next week, what do you think would be a huge focus for you to try to have more consistent green days?
Honestly, instead of trying to buy the dips when I think that they're gonna rise, focus more on consistently uptrending stocks. And just jump into it, and it makes more sense to me that way.
Definitely. So one thing that I saw Weston do this week, and again, I'm not especially this week because you're shadowing me. I've been doing this for a little bit longer, and I don't want to use that as an excuse. But sometimes because of how I average up, I buy my initial position with let's say 1/3 or 1/4. Let's say I'm trading with $10,000. I'll buy it with $2,500, and then if it begins to show signs of an uptrend, I'll add more. And I'm pretty quick when it comes down to adding more.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's the most conservative, or I don't think that's the most conservative way to approach the market, especially as a newer trader, because it's harder for you to identify the bottom, and then it's also more difficult for you to understand when to average up or when to cut losses.
That's what I was going to say,
yeah. So I think altogether, I think that's a very good approach to have, that to only take positions of stocks that are uptrending and that the margin of profit is still worth it. So I think that would be a huge focus. Instead of trying to predict the reversal, being a little bit more patient and then waiting for that break above the EMA line, the higher highs, and that making sure that the margin of profit is still worth it.
Perfect. Okay. That's really what I should be doing.
Is there any, in your experience, when it came down to paper trading this week, I saw that you were treating the money or the paper trading account as real as I've seen other people to do. You were definitely concerned when it was selling off. Yeah. You were super pumped when it was green. So what do you think for a new person that's just getting started? Why do you think it's might be of value for them to start paper trading?
Getting right into it, there's so many variables. that they become you start to understand them more. But when you're first getting started, it's a lot to take in, and stuff happens very fast.
Yeah.
Like it's really easy to enter,
and we're not even trading like lower cap stocks, and it still moves very quickly.
It moves so fast, and it's really easy to enter, and it's your actual money that you worked hard for. You don't want to mess something up within 5, 10, 15 minutes. Whereas you could just understand the basics, because day 4 I started to really Ish was helping me, you were helping me, and I was really starting to use the indicators more and understand how they work effectively. And it really does, to an extent, it does help you identify, some spots that are good. But
definitely, and I think that's the biggest thing. Like, the market is so accessible. One of the most common questions, and it makes sense when someone is just wanting to get started, they always ask, okay, well, especially because when I post my profits, so on Thursday I had a $2,000 day. They're like, okay, do you think that I can start trading with $1,000 or with $500 or with $5,000? And yes, you can. The answer is yes, you can. But I don't think you should. Because when it comes down to trading, the buying and the selling, that's the easy part. Knowing when to buy and when to sell, that's the part that takes time to understand. And that's the easiest way to put it. There's a huge learning curve, and it takes time to understand, like you said, all the different variables and all the different factors that drive the price up and down, and understanding when to buy and sell. So that's why I try to have such a huge emphasis and empower our newer traders, even if you're a little experienced, that if you're coming from Forex and you want to get into stocks, that you should still, right? It's just time. That's all that's costing you, your time, to practice everything that you learn. And just like we've explained before, if you want to take the information that you learn from YouTube videos and practice that with paper trading, great. It doesn't cost you 1 penny, and you get to test it to see if it works. So if you're uncomfortable about the market and you're not sure if you could actually grow your account, then why not simply put it to the test? So if you're taking losses and you don't know what you did wrong, or if you're making profits but you feel like you got lucky, that's, I don't think, a very long-term mentality to have. You want to become someone that's self-sufficient, and our goal for every trader that we assist is to become self-sufficient in just that. There's a quote, right? That's like, if you give a man a fish, he could eat for a day. If you teach a man how to fish, he could eat for a lifetime. And it's this simple idea of, instead of telling people what to do, that you work with them to empower them to find their unique trading style so they can understand what it is that they're doing. And yes, it takes more time, but again, long term, it's much more rewarding for those that actually accomplish that. So 3 things that we're going to focus on for next week is overall confirmation, not trying to buy the dip, but making sure that Weston waits for the overall confirmation, higher highs, and is showing signs of an uptrend. Again, if you want to grow your account, then you should trade patterns that are showing signs of growth and not just hoping that they grow. Another area of opportunity is the overall panic selling, making sure that you feel comfortable with your trade, and that maybe before you take your position, that you plan out your entire trade. We have your little trading journal anyways, right?
Yep.
So you can plan out your entry, your exit, and your stop loss, and you'll stick to that plan, because you're not emotional before you take it. I think that's what's most important.
That will help a lot.
Yeah. And then the last thing is, again, I think you did a very good job managing your risk. So we still want to make sure that we keep our losses smaller than our profits. So overall, just when it comes down to the numbers, that it makes sense. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing Easter Sunday. Again, if you guys want to be able to watch me trade live every single day, that's going to be that first link in the description. And what better time to learn how to trade when you have a 3-day weekend. On top of that, again, if you guys want to stay up to date with Weston's progress as learning how to trade on the stock market, anything connecting with someone that's just getting started would be of value for you, that's going to be that second link in the description. The third link in the description is our free Facebook group, over 200,000 members. We're the largest Facebook group for those who trade in the stock market in the world. That's that third link in the description. And again, we'd love to be a part of your success. Like always, guys, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.